Hey, this is Dave at houseburners.com. So today we're going to show you a little bit about tiling. Maybe you've wondered, is this a project you want to do? Is this something you want to take on? We'll cover all the basics, show you what you need to get so you can start, and we'll show you a couple basic tips and tricks so that you can see if this is something that maybe is in your wheelhouse. And if it is, I think you're going to find out that not only is it something that's DIY friendly, but it's going to save you a ton of money. First off, we're getting ready to do a backsplash on here, and you got to order tile. And so to order tile, you need the square footage of the area that you're going to cover. We are going from the top of the counter to the bottom portion of the cabinet. So you do your length times height, and then you want to make sure that you have 10 or 15% extra just as a cushion. If the tile is readily available and they have it in stock and you can just get more than you want, then you don't need to really worry about ordering extra. But if you have to order it and it takes a while to get shipped in, and you want to make sure that you don't have to mid-projects go and reorder tile, then order 10% more just so you know you're going to be covered. Once you have your tile ordered, there's a bunch of miscellaneous equipment that you're going to need to get the job done. Here's the tiles that we ordered. 3x6 pickets. These tiles come as individual pieces. If you're not getting a mat where the tiles are attached to a mat, but you're getting them as individual pieces, then you're for sure going to need tile spacers. These are about as basic as you can get. Pretty inexpensive. I think this is $5 or $6. And yet these do a really good job. You don't need to get super fancy if you don't want to. I got this for like a $1.78 or something. We're using 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch square notched trowel, which is right here. But sometimes that trowel is too big to get in small spaces, and I'll use this little plastic piece for some really fine work. I ordered some marking pencils, red, black, and yellow, and it's really hard to mark on tile, especially glossy tile with a pencil. And so these oil pencils do a really nice job. Got a mixer for the grout and for the thin set. This is what we have ceramic tile, so we bought ceramic tile mortar. And this shows you what it can be used over. And this is the maker of this is Mapai. The sponge here, we'll use that when we're cleaning up the grout. The mixer I think was $8. This is a drill mixer. The directions are for mixing this are on the back. This will do 75 to 90 square feet. And we are figured ours out at right at 60 to 65 square feet. So this one bag should do us. When you're doing a backsplash, you don't need a special wall board or anything. Go right over the existing wall, and it even says it right there. Another thing that's really good to have is some cardboard. It's good to cover your existing countertop with some protective coating, either paper or cardboard or whatever it might be. You got to make sure you take all the outlet covers off, but before you do, I marked around here with pencil so that when you remove these covers, you're going to get an outline. And so you want the tile to be on the inside of this line. So when you put the cover back on, you're not going to have a gap. So the tile needs to cover this pencil line on all four sides. You want to mess up on that, or else you have to buy oversized plates, and that can look a little dumb sometimes. So you got to take all those outlet covers off. We still have yet to take off this piece of molding, because our tile, you can see there, our tile is going to be higher than that molding. And so we're taking this piece off, and we'll reinstall it or a portion of it later. One more thing about when you're measuring tile, you want to get the best look. The reason I'm starting here is because we want the tile to be symmetrical in that window box. I laid out my tiles with the 1/8 inch gap in between them. And it's going to end up being right here at the edge. I'm starting here in the center, again for symmetry, for this window, and working to the outer edges. And so right here I've already measured, and I'm going to have about 2/3 of a tile at this line right here. And then the same thing's going to happen with the stove. We're actually going to tile behind this stove because it's fairly old. And so we're gonna have tile running all the way back here because we'll have a low profile stove for our next one. We're also gonna start in the center of the stove here and work to the corner and work over to the side so that these are all symmetrical on the stove. So a little bit of planning is important when you put your tiles on so that you get a good look. One more thing, when you're doing your tiles, there's such a thing as back buttering, where you would take your thin set and you would put it on the tile, on the back of the tile and on the wall. But you really don't need to do that with a backsplash. You can look it up online, and even the Professional Tile Association says that a backsplash doesn't need to have these tiles back buttered. The recommendation is 70% of the tile needs to be covered. Once and what you do is you stick it on the wall, and then you can peel it off and see, did at least 70% of this tile have thin set on it. All these, the pencils, this, and the thin set were about 40 bucks. Now, the one thing I didn't talk about is how you're cutting tile. We just went and bought that new rigid 7-inch wet tile saw with stand, and it basically has a sliding tray, and you put the tile on there and move it forward, and the blade will cut it. This is an upgrade from the tile saws that we've had in the past. You certainly can pay a lot more money for a lot better saws, but this one got really good reviews, and so we thought we'd try this one. And so we'll review that to let you see how it does. We're hoping for good things there. That saw is about 300 bucks. It was on sale, and I think it's $350 regular. If you do more than one tile job, you're easily paying for that saw. You could do a rental. The problem is it's probably 75 bucks a day or something like that. And if you did a rental, you're going to be under the gun. And this is another tool we have, and we've touted this before, but this is a laser level. That's magic. Having that line there, it's a nice straight line, perfectly straight line. And then you have options on this to do a vertical line, or now you have vertical and horizontal. There's a lot of options with that laser level. One tip is do this outside, because that dust is bad for your lungs. So you don't want to be breathing it. You certainly don't want to do it inside. Hope this video helps. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We've got lots more videos coming. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.